Hey traders from around the world, this is of course Jerremy Alexander Newsome with Real Life Trading. Hope you're doing phenomenal. Had a good weekend. It is indeed Monday, June the 8th, and tonight I'll be headed to Toronto, Canada. So my Canadians in the house, hopefully you got an email from me as well. Hope to see you guys Friday in Toronto, having a little bit of a meetup Friday. So if you guys are in Canada or in the around the Toronto area and you do not get any communication from me, feel free to reach out. I'd love to see you and give you a hug and say thanks for being a trader, man. I appreciate it. Or thanks for being a trader, lady. I appreciate it. Anyway, let's check out the DIA really quick. So on the DIA, we got the close Friday. I was about to say yesterday. We got a close Friday, which just simply meant for me, I'm a little bit more bearish than bullish. At least more bearish to neutral. So, if I'm day trading or short-term swing trading, I'm going to be looking for some type of bearish opportunity, short term. And then I'm all about buying the bounce, right? I'm all about that bounce, I don't know where it's going to happen, though. I'm assuming 176, right about the 200 simple moving average. Really anywhere in this range we could bounce on the DIA. Still got the 173, 172 June bull put spread. That should be fun. We got 2 weeks left on it. And my imagination, if we trade a little bit lower, even if we came all the way down to here, by this week, we'd have to have a little bit of a bounce, right? Because at that point, anyone who sold to open up here will be buying to close down here for some profits. So looking at the DIA, a little bit more bearish than bullish. That's pretty much about it. Here's the SPY. So the SPY had a lot of things expire on the SPY Friday. A lot. We had an iron condor, which we got into last Wednesday. So here's the iron condor. We got into the 208.50, 207.50. 214, 215 iron condor expiring last Friday. That expired worthless, beautiful, and you can see the analysis up here on the 3rd of June. That was a 10% ROI, so that was pretty nice. And then down here also 200, 199 June week 1 bull put spread. That also expired worthless. And I had a bet that I would eat a shoe if it did not expire worthless. So it did. Beautiful. Probably look to do that one again, right? I mean, I don't know if the SPY does trade down a little bit lower. Again, the SPY not quite as bearish as the DIA, at least as of yet. And if we start breaking through 208, maybe we could come down to 205 and bounce, and potentially 202 and bounce. But any pullbacks, regardless of the size, if we bounce, I will be more bullish than bearish. The QQQs. Here are the Qs. So again, a little bit of a pullback. I'm expecting a bounce around this, again, this little pink circle-ish area. So if and when we do get a bounce or a nice little gap, I'll be looking to go a smidge bullish. And on the IWMs, IWM, we have a June 116, 115 bull put spread that we analyzed back on the 7th of May. And again, that one should be just fine. I don't think that's going to be an issue at all. If you are in the IWM as of the bullish entry from back at 122.72, I think let's go ahead and just move up our stop to break even. So if you bought calls back on the bounce off the 100 simple moving average, boom, boom, right? If you bought calls back there or whatever you did, if you're directionally bullish, let's just move up our stops on the IWM, protect ourselves a little bit, because there's a lot of selling pressure, there's a lot of buying pressure, and we're still forming this giant ascending triangle on the IWM. So I don't know which way the indices are going to break. I'm excited whichever direction they do break, though. Apple, again, just slightly bearish on Apple. Wasn't massively bearish, but I sent out to you guys the analysis for if Apple did break the low back here, whatever it was, 129 and some change. That'd just be slightly bearish, not massively. And later on today, over the weekend, there's still some more Apple announcements to be made. So Apple's a very, very buy the rumor, sell the news kind of stock. And I really do think the target on Apple still is about the 100 simple moving average. At that point, I'll probably be looking to play the bounce. We have a bull put spread expiring this week, 119, 118. I don't think that becomes an issue at all. And if you did get into the bear call spreads on Apple should also be fine. So at some point, I'm expecting Apple to break out, probably bullish, out of this little triangle pattern. So if it does something like this, bam, and then breaks out, good. That'd be fun. Just kind of keep an eye on it and see what happens. Let's go look at CMG, Chipotle. So Chipotle, just keeping an eye on this one. Here's the support I'm referring to, 607, if you will, right around that general area from this little bounce back here in November. So we're at that level. We're getting some reversal candles in the sense of some decent volume, some decent bullish candles. These two candle patterns I actually refer to as a wicked pair candle set, and those are pretty bullish candles with that volume at the support level. So I'm not bullish yet. I need CMG to bounce a little bit above 615.75, and I'd just be at least more bullish than bearish. Could CMG bounce again at that little support level and trade back up to around 700 again? Yeah, it's absolutely possible. Probably take 3 or 4 months, but it could happen for sure. BIDU. Let's look at BIDU really quickly. BIDU is trading to the longer term moving averages. We do have a 195, 192.50 June week 2 bull put spread that expires this Friday. And based on where we're at now, I will be looking at this a little bit more tomorrow, but probably, as I mentioned on the 2nd of June, possibly leg into a bear call spread, maybe up here somewhere. The 215, 220, or 215, 217.50. Just really depends on the next few days, the next few hours on BIDU, because we are running into this gap action, and the resistance is going to play out just a little bit along with the 100 simple. So just kind of keep a close eye on BIDU, see what that one's doing. Tesla moved today. What a very, very electric move it had this morning. Nice little retest gap. So on Tesla, I was actually slightly, I wouldn't say bearish, but I was like, well, if we begin to roll over. So here's my trigger for a 260, 262.50 June bear call spread, which was up here. And it just simply did not trigger, right? Because we did have an evening star reversal. The Qs were kind of bearish. We got a little bit of bearish candle back here on the 4th of June. Then the 5th of June happened. The 5th of June, almost actually a tweezer bottom. So it was a very, very bullish signal. And then today on the gap up, very, very nice gap. 259.64, getting very, very close to that as a target. That is kind of my target on Tesla. Probably hit that today or tomorrow. And at that point, if you're still in a bullish trade, I'll take a little bit of profit off the table. Look at this as a 1, 2, probably some kind of 3, 4, 5, maybe something of that nature. Maybe it could go a little bit higher. But at that point, let's depend and see how it trades around this little level, breaks through, comes back, bounces, and then at that point we can buy the bounce on Tesla. But nice little move so far today. And if you're trading Tesla, I'd have a little bit of a bullish perspective overall. And let's look at 2 other ones. American Airlines. I am in American Airlines bearish. I got triggered in 42.45. So it looks good. 6-4-15 bearish entry triggered. If American Airlines pulls back a tad tomorrow or Monday, edge looks longer term bearish. So I'm a little bit longer term bearish. And we also got into a bear call spread, 46-47. So we're nailing it right now in American Airlines. We're doing pretty well. So at this point, I got to just find some targets. And I'm going to go find, let's go find a target on Southwest Airlines, because that's what Bob asked me to do on the Facebook page, Real Life Trading Facebook page. And I also am triggered into bearish on Southwest Airlines. 2 different accounts. I figured I would just do 2 different trades, see which one will work the best. Right now, American Airlines is working a little bit better, but still in Southwest. So let's check this out. Here's going to be my targets. I really think this is a pretty decent range for both of these stocks. Somewhere right around there. And you can see a pretty decent fib as well. Trade down, trade up to about retraced 38.2% of this bearish wave retraced. So 33.57 is target number 1. 32.10 would really probably be my ultimate target on Southwest, believe it or not. I do think it kind of could get down to that level. So just slightly more bearish than bullish on, well, I say slightly. I'm more bearish than bullish on Southwest because I have puts. So if you're in Southwest, let's move a stop probably to about 38.49. It could pause here because this is an equal low, right? Bearish candle, retrace, boom, equal low. Could pause there for just a little bit, do something like that, and then if it breaks a little bit lower, again, if you're in puts, let your winners run and let your losers lose. Speaking of losing, TripAdvisor, I'm holding on to this one as tightly as possible. Stop is 77.17. I'm in bearish along with Orkin and a few others, and more or less just hoping it continues to fill the gap. That's really kind of my guess. Here's the exponential moving averages on the daily chart, and we're below them. The stock is below the 10, the 20, the 50. They all have crossed bearish. We close below this really, really strong gap. At least it's a strong gap in my opinion. This could be a little bit of a retest of the gap, and I'm hoping the moving averages push this one down just a little bit farther. If you come over here to a weekly chart on TripAdvisor, a weekly chart, again, you're making lower lows. All the moving averages, they did cross bearish. You're making lower lows and lower highs. You have a little bit of a double bottom action right here going on, but we did close below that price on the weekly chart. So I guess just got to give this trade a little bit of time, and hopefully it continues lower. I guess that's my overall thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this real life stock review was beneficial. If you're not on my mailing list for whatever weird reason, feel free to hop over to reallifetrading.com at any point in time. You can click on articles and keep a close eye on trade setups. We did a poll recently for the real life traders around the world, and overwhelmingly, a lot of traders were like, hey, I want to focus a lot on swing trades and swing trade analysis via some articles. So keep an eye on this little tab, and also keep an eye on this website in general, because there's going to be a few small changes you might notice probably this week. Shout outs to my good friend Al. So anyway, Spring Portfolio 2015 third edition. That is the last update of the Spring Portfolio. Next portfolio will be summer, and I'll be choosing a few new stocks to update. Keep a close eye on it and follow what we did. If you got a chance to check out and keep an eye on the Spring Portfolio overall, from posting to this edition, that portfolio gained right at 50% on the stocks chosen. Whoever writes these things, they're good. That person's pretty solid. All right, anyway, traders, I'll see you guys later. And until Wednesday, remember, love life, live life, and trade it.